All right, Nate, what's going on?
Oh, just brushing up on my balance books.
Wow. Did you read all of these?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it only took me about an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I've been practicing this speed reading technique. It's really working.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. I can read this real fast for you.
Whereas a lot of balance programs focus on one component of balance and call it balance program, i.e. strengthening exercises only, visual vestibular exercises only, home modifications only, etc. This book will provide you with information on the multiple factors and components that play a role in improving your balance and decreasing your risk of falling. In part 1 of the book of balance, you'll learn about these many factors that contribute to your balance and risk of falling. Use this information to discuss with your physical therapist or physician specific areas that apply to your own situation and to tailor your intervention accordingly. In part 2 of the book of balance, you'll find exercises designed to improve your strength, flexibility, posture, multisensory function, coordination, reaction time, and balance strategies. Use these to improve your balance and decrease your risk of falling. How to learn the definition and application of each, give special emphasis to those areas you feel you need to improve the most to balance the scale.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. No wonder you go through so fast.
Problem is I can't remember any of it, so that's why we're making these videos.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. You want to go through some?
Yep, let's get started.
All right. All right, welcome back. I'm Mikey.
I'm Nate.
And we're here to help you
Improve your balance. So welcome. We're going to be going through what's called the Book of Balance. So this is by Lex Gonzales. He's a physical therapist and a doctor of physical therapy, and we're going to be showing you some of the exercises that he recommends and that are standard practice to help with preventing falls and improving balance.
Yeah, it's a really nice book. It's pretty concise. It's got about 60 pages of intro that really goes through, what is balance, why the falls occur, the anatomy and physiology of some of it, and then it's got 6 different levels of exercises. So today we're going to go through level 1, and then keep tuning in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. We're going to release videos throughout the week and go through these together. And it's got some really interesting stuff. They do a good job of touching all the different systems that go into balance and making sure that it's a nice encompassing approach.
Yeah, I really like it because it has stretches, it has strengthening, it also has some kind of reflex exercises, visual exercises, multi-sensory practices, so it's got a lot of variety. They did a great job putting it together, so we recommend it and promote it. And we're also going to be, when this video comes out on April 1st, we're going to be letting you know about April 8th. The next Monday, we're doing a live launch of our 3 Weeks to Better Balance online course. So if you want to join us for that, go to balanceforlife.com, get more information, and you can join a whole team of people from all over the country, all over the world, who are working to improve their balance, and in 3 weeks you're guaranteed to see improvements measurably. So make sure to check that out and join us for the 3 Weeks to Better Balance course.
Yeah, it's really important. The goal of that course is to build habits, as all this is. And so we've got some really nice products and rewards in you with people following along. We've got a live 30-minute session and 2 wonderful balance props that we can talk more about then.
Yeah, so April 8th we'll launch it live. If you're watching this after April 8th, 2019, we'll do another one later. So we're going to be launching these every couple of months. So if you missed that one, you can join our waiting list. So again, check out balanceforlife.com and join us. So we're going to get started. You just need basically a nice floor space. We're doing this from the couch. The couch is a really good prop here. You're going to want a chair that has arm rests. Okay, we're going to be doing something like that. And also grab either a towel or a like a yoga strap, something like this, because we're going to be doing some stretches with that. And if you don't have a chair with armrests, grab some yoga blocks or something that you can use to press down. We'll show you in a minute what that's all about. So the first one is simply a static back stretch. So you're going to lay on your back, and you can do this if you have a chair or a couch. You basically just scoot your hips real close and then just lay back down. Oh, it feels so good, right?
So yeah, really with this, you just want to relax. You want to let the floor help you with the alignment of your back. And by staying here and just breathing, relaxing, letting go of all that tension, that cartilage and ligaments and muscles will slowly start to adapt to the ground. So take your time. We'll do this for about a minute, but if you just want to pause here and relax, that's really helpful. And we'll move on a little quicker.
Yeah. And a couple of variations you can try if you have, a hardwood floor, or if you just want more cushion for your hips, you could put a pillow down. And if you have trouble kind of getting down on the floor as well, one thing you could do is to come at it sideways. So you can, if you're going to put your legs up, you basically will sit parallel to the couch, and then you'll kind of lay down and then pivot and lay down like this. Sometimes that's easier than like trying to scoot toward the couch once you're on the ground. So you can do this. This can even be done against a wall and do legs up the wall, and that feels really nice as well. So just relax here for another 30 seconds or so. Nice deep breathing. And so the author Lex Gonzales says that this will help relax your back, position your head in the same plane as your shoulders, right? Because a lot of us start to get that kyphosis, that rounded upper back, right, kind of hunching. So this helps to flatten and straighten that out. And so it's an antidote to that forward head, where it's shifted forward, and the rounded shoulder that most of us are stuck with throughout the day. All right, take one more full breath. And then to come out of it, pull your knees in and kind of roll to your side. And for this next one, you could also, I'd say, sit on a cushion for this one. And I'll show you a version on the couch. This is a supine frog stretch. So basically, you're going to sit and then put your feet together. And you can do it actually laying down, or you can do it like propped up. Feet are together and the knees open out to the side. Now, one thing that's nice here with yoga blocks, if you have pain from stretching here, you can actually just tuck these in kind of on the outsides. And if that's not tall enough, you can angle them up a little bit. So you've got a little bit of support here. And what that does is it helps not overstretch, okay? So especially if you have really flexible hips. Not everybody has that problem, right? But if that's the case, this can help. And another version is to do it just on the couch, and you want to be able to lean back a bit. Not every couch may work, but you can kind of lean back with your feet together and open your chest and just feel the stretch inside of your legs here. And really just enjoy, relax and breathe. Let your hips open naturally. Okay, and they talk about the frog position will loosen the muscles in your groin, inner thighs, and back, giving you more flexibility to perform the hip strategy for balance. So hip strategy is where you basically correct your balance by your hips shifting around. So this is a really common strategy of ankle strategy, hip strategy, and step strategy. So this is really important that your hips are kind of like ready to move, okay, to be able to compensate. Okay, so now the next one, you stay on the ground and then you can bend your knees and then let them just fall from one side to the other. And your arms can either be just comfortably to the side, or you can open them out for a little bit deeper stretch. And this is just to warm up your lower back and your spine. Just simple, nice and easy. Supine lumbar rotation.
And play with the speed a little bit. If you take a few seconds to relax on each side, I think you can almost get a little bit more out of this, because it's allowing that cartilage and ligaments to relax a little. It takes a little more time for that.
Yeah, this can be very tight. So take your time, breathe into it. This can be done on the couch also. If you're able to lean back a bit, you can just put your knees together and go side to side. And then your head, if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can even turn your head opposite your knees. Okay? Really nice to just stay and relax. Don't force it, don't rush it. Alright, so this is number 3, supine lumbar rotation. And this is going to help with your hip and your stepping strategies. Okay, so when you're ready, come back to the middle. You can tuck your knees into your chest to just kind of even things out, or circle around a little bit. And when you're ready to come up, try to roll to your side and use your hands to press up rather than sitting up like a sit-up. Try it that way. It's going to be better for your back. So the next one is a supine hip flexor. And Mikey will show you here on the couch. So basically, you just lay down on the couch.
And they show this in bed too, so it's a really good routine for just getting up in the morning. Just to do here.
Yep. And you want to make sure you don't slip off the couch and fall, right? So maybe put some cushions there just in case. Make sure that you feel confident here.
And the couch seems a little high. I have pretty flexible and long legs. So in bed, it's a little higher. You can really get this hip down more. I might even have to kind of pull my toe under me to get that range of motion.
Yeah.
And you feel it right up in front here. This is a really easy stretch to do while you're standing too, but nice to have.
Yeah, the gravity kind of does the work for you here. So yeah, so if you're on a bed that's higher, yeah, you're gonna feel a deeper stretch here. Although if you're on a couch, I'd say it's probably a little bit safer if you do slip off. Okay, so make sure, yeah, he's grabbing onto the couch here. Put some pillows or something just in case if you slip down, and he's getting the stretch right across these front thighs, hip flexors.
Nice. So we want to even this out. So again, use a little support as you come up. Flip over to the other side and find that position again.
Yep. So advanced version would be bending the knees. Yeah. And your breath is really key here. So as you breathe and as you relax, your body will start to open up. Okay, it's amazing how your breath really plays a role in your body's tension. All right. So prolonged sitting during the day will shorten the muscles in the front of your hips and groins. So these hip flexors here, because we're sitting so much, they get short and tight. So this is the counter pose. This is like a hip extension. So lunges do the same thing. This is a nice kind of relaxing version of that. And so when the hips are tight in the front, they cause you to also kind of lean forward when you walk. So you see when people get older, they do this, right? So long front body is one of the solutions to good balance, good posture. All right, feel good?
Nice, yeah.
So now the next one, you can actually just stay laying down, and this is for the hamstrings. So here's where you can grab a towel, or you can grab a yoga strap, and this can be done in bed also, on the couch, or also on the floor. And just grab onto something and put it around the ball of the foot and stretch the back of the legs. Now one thing that we shared during our yoga class too, which can make this a little bit less stressful on your arms, because when you have the towel, notice how he has to really grip and hold with the hands. One nice thing, if you have a long enough yoga strap, and this may or may not be, let's try this, and what you do is you make a loop, and then you put it through here, and you put both hands, and then if you put your hands all the way through the middle, and then actually grab this side, yeah, so you can actually put it around the wrist, and
if you can't reach that there, let's say what the other version is, the sling, right? So if you really can't reach your foot, you can just do one-sided, and then you can keep it pretty close, to your body. You can use your arm weight to keep it in place. Don't use your hands too much.
And I'll show you that close up here. So if you have the strap and you put your hand through it, and then you grab like this. And what that does is that the pressure is now pulling on the wrist rather than having a grip with your hand. So it's just a little bit easier, less pressure. So try out a couple different things. All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead and switch. And the easiest way to switch here is to actually put the other foot into the loop and then switch it that way. Then you don't have to try to reach up and rehook it, right? And try to get right on the ball of the foot. It's the widest part of the foot.
And if this is, if you're getting like a lot of sciatic pain, you can bend that knee. That can take some of the pressure off the lower back. So be comfortable, and and you can play with the stretch too. You can straighten it more, get more behind the knee, bend it more, get more of the back of the hamstring. And then pulling the toe down gets really the calf there. So you take your time. You can even go side to side. You can almost get the outside of your leg and hip, the outside of the hamstrings.
Yeah, and he says that just in the same way when you're sitting and your hips are flexed, when you're sitting, your hamstrings are flexed, right, the backs of the legs. So this is also can create tightness in the hamstrings, and to compensate, a lot of people again slightly lean forward to balance their body. So tight hamstrings actually can contribute to a slouched standing posture, believe it or not. So when the hamstrings can lengthen, that gives your whole body a little bit more length too. All right, so if you're done with that, you can set it on down and then just have a seat comfortably. on the couch or on the chair. All right, and this one is for your calves. And so you're going to use, again, a strap or a pillow, a towel. And you're just going to sit straight and put a loop under the ball of one foot just below your toes. Keep your heel on the floor while gently pulling on the towel, allowing your foot to bend up toward your knee. So you pull and you stretch the calf.
This is also kind of a nice way to work on posture. You can kind of use that in your back muscles to, so if you're arching your back, reaching, if you can't do it, right, try to get that good posture, get up onto your tailbone or your sit bones, and then you can still try to work that stretch.
Yeah, so when you can use your arms, that will pull the shoulders back and the chest forward. Yeah. So this is a kind of a double bonus. And actually strengthening the arms, you don't want to force the leg too much, but actually a little bit of strength in your arms will strengthen your back muscles as well, and that will help pull your shoulders back. So just about 30 seconds to a minute, breathing comfortably here. And again, the nice thing about the strap is if you loop it, you can wrap it around your wrist, and then you don't have to grip so hard with your hands, and it just takes some of the pressure off there, which may cause unnecessary tension. All right, when you're ready to switch, take your other foot, put it in, and then switch. Just a little trick of the trade, makes it a little easier. And you can be a little active. You can kind of press against the strap or the towel just a little bit, so your calf is actively stretching rather than passively. You can firm your thighs just a little bit too. Another nice variation is to try it while smiling. Sometimes stretching can be a little boring and serious, so just smile. You can almost pump it like the gas pedal. You can kind of pump it back and forth, press and release, and feel the whole articulation of the calf. All right.
Nice.
Calves feeling good?
Yeah, mine have been really tight lately, so good to remind ourselves to keep doing those.
All right, so that was number 6. So now number 7 is a seated push-up. So Mikey, why don't you do the chair, and I'll show you the floor version. And basically, this is going to help strengthen your arms. And so when you're coming up and down from a chair, it's also really important this to strengthen your arms to build the bone density. Because if you fall, a lot of people fracture their arms because their arms have gotten weak without using them. So just sit straight in the chair, use something with the armrest, and just press down with your hands and lift your hips up.
And even if you can't get out of the chair this way, you can get resistance, even if you can't come up. And then you start to add the legs to make it as easy as it needs to be. And then really controlled and slow is good. We want to you could do a lot of repetitions, but by going slow, you're really forcing those muscles to work hard, and they're putting consistent pressure on the bones, which has been shown to improve bone density quicker than just quick repetitions of things. So that slow, steady movement, you're working a lot of different muscles, you're building the endurance, you're building the proprioception, because you start to get a little shaky as you get tired, and as you fight that, it's really good. It's pulling on those bones in all different directions, making sure that they're sturdy all the way through.
Yeah, the longer the muscles and bones are under pressure, the more that they get the signal that they need to strengthen. Okay? So if you don't have a chair with arms on it that is handy, you can do this on the floor too. And this is also just another variation if you want to try this differently, is that you put 2 yoga blocks or something, a big stack, a big cookbook or something on each side, hopefully it's the same level, and stretch your legs out, and then do the same thing, and you just press down and you lift your hips up off the ground, down and up. This is probably a little harder because there's less range.
Even on the couch, if you can't get to the floor like that, because having your legs straight out, sitting up straight can be tough.
I'd say this would be hard for a lot of people. It would have to be low.
So just like sitting on the couch with the blocks next to you, which might be tough. They'll start to sink, but you can get creative. Find some way, some chair that works for you.
Yeah, this works.
Yeah,
this is definitely going to be easier than the chair, and you do want to be careful that it's a little more wobbly, which has its own benefit, right? Because you're having to compensate more. but don't do it if it feels like you're gonna fall or twist your wrist.
Yeah, and if your shoulders are sore, don't overdo this. When we're doing a new exercise, it can be tough. Or just work on different aspects of the range of motion. Whether it's at the top of the movement or at the bottom, whichever that is, you can kind of play with that.
It's good a good rule of thumb is to when you're doing strength training, get to about 85% of your maximum perceived effort, right? So if you feel like, okay, that's about 85% of my maximum, that's a good place to stop, and you can keep track. Maybe it's 10 times gets you to 85%, maybe 5 times, maybe 20 times, and that number will change as you get stronger. So keep track of how many times you're doing it and how much effort you're using, and you'll actually be able to see the improvement without ever going above 85%. If you start feeling like you're at 100%, you're risking injury. And if you go below 85, you won't build strength that much. So that's a good point.
Yeah, this is gonna definitely be tough on the shoulders, so take it easy. If you've been following along the whole time, you're probably spent.
Yeah, take some breaks, all right? Yeah, and you can take little breaks, do a couple of sets, stretch out the shoulders if you need. All right, but that is a very important one, seated push-ups. All right, next one is seated leg extension. And this one you will have to be sitting up on a couch or a chair. And yep, just like it sounds, you're gonna take one leg at a time and straighten it and bend it back and forth. And then if you can, hold the position for 2 to 3 seconds all the way out before slowly lowering it. So you can warm it up quickly a few times, but then hold 2 to 3 seconds and stop. You want to aim for about 10 repetitions for 2 to 3 sets on each side. Okay? So you can do 10 times one leg, 10 times the other, and then repeat that 2 or 3 times. If you want to make it harder,
all sorts of ways.
You can do both legs, okay? But make sure you've got enough balance to do that. So
this isn't easy. I think you can kind of make it as hard as you want, because all you have to do to make it harder is change the angle of your leg, or easier. So if I point my foot towards the ground more, if you can see that there, it's going to be easier. And if I have it up higher, it's going to be a lot harder. So whatever your range of motion is, at the peak of it, doesn't matter who you are, it's going to get challenging at some point.
Yeah. And if you need to, you can try variations, maybe doing one leg and then the other. So if doing the same leg 10 times in a row is too hard, try switching. Another way to make it harder, add a little weight.
Oh, that's good. I like that little towel. That's an easy ankle weight.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's got a towel somewhere in the house, I'm sure. So add that extra 2 pounds or whatever. You'll feel it. So aim for about 10 times on each leg for one set, and if you can, do 2 up to 3 sets, okay?
Breathe. Smile.
Yep.
Stretch. Breathe.
It's tempting when you're doing this that your back starts slumping, right? So really work on keeping your spine straight. You might even put your hands behind you and help prop up your back so that you don't have to slouch when you do it. And the longer you hold it out, the more fun it gets. Alright, getting toasty warm, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's good. So again, do your own speed. If you need to do more and do less, that's fine. Next one, seated hip flexion. So you're sitting and now you're just lifting the leg up and down. And then you just hold for 2 to 3 seconds and lower it. So for this one, the higher your seat is, the more challenging it is. So if you have like a low chair or a low couch, just sit up higher. Sit up on a cushion, and now you've got more room to work with.
It really is probably just the end point again. So lifting your leg higher is going to make it harder, and having it not as high is going to make it easier.
Yeah, so I prefer doing alternating legs, but if you want to really strengthen one leg at a time, you could do the same leg 10 times and then switch, just getting more fatigue into it.
This one's a good one to hold for like 5 seconds, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as hard as the knee extension, I feel like. So I'm getting that fatigue.
Mm-hmm. And really watch the temptation that you're trying not to round your back. Like, a lot of times I see people, they're trying to lift their leg up, and so the leg is coming closer to the chest, and so they feel like because the chest is going closer to the leg that's happening, but it's not, right? So don't bringing your chest to the leg is not the same thing. Okay, bring your leg to the chest and keep your chest open. And yeah, of course you could add a little extra weight if you want. Add a towel.
If you're watching this video again, or you want to stand up, there's standing versions of this that you can, they'll add the balance portion. This is really strengthening first and foremost. So if you're moved on, advanced, feeling good,
yep.
Come on up.
That's all. Nice. All right, so get to that 85%. You want to feel some fatigue, you want to feel some challenge, but you don't want to feel like you're in pain, and you don't want to feel like you're exhausted. Okay? And take breaks. You might need to break this up into sets of 5, a set of 10, or you might need to alternate legs more often.
I think eyes closed is really the ticket for any advanced followers out there.
Yep.
Really changes it.
Yeah, if you ever need to make it harder, we can always help you with that. No problem. All right, nice work. So strong hip flexors.
A little stretch there too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So people think, okay, like we just talked about, if you're sitting all day, your hips become tight. Doesn't this make your hips tighter? Well, there's a difference between strength and tightness, okay? Because you can be tight and weak. That's what a lot of us are. We're sitting all day, so the hips are tight. Doesn't mean they're strong. Now, you can be strong and tight. That's not good either. You could be flexible and weak. That's not great. The worst would be stiff and weak, right? Tight and weak. But it's also possible to be strong and flexible.
Yeah,
that's the combination. That's our goal. All right, so next one, seated heel and toe raises. And again, if you want to make this harder, we'll get to the standing ones later, but you can do this seated first. Make sure you're okay with it before going to standing. So basically just go up on your toes and go up on your heels. And you might be amazed at how stiff this feels in your feet. So toes up, heels up, back and forth.
And even on the toes, if you're sitting, try to get to the toenail and not just the ball of the foot. You get that little extra range of motion, engage the deep tendons of the foot that help with that toe curling. Right? They'll help the plantar fascia for a lot of people. Make sure that big toe is strong. Does a lot for us.
Yeah, that really makes a difference when you go up on the tiptoes. That last little inch. It gets actually to the top of the feet quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this might cause cramps, okay? So a lot of people get cramps in their feet, so if it cramps, just take a break, shake it out.
Or just, work on the toe lift for a little bit with the calves.
The feet exercises are always deceptively challenging. Like, they look so easy, but they're so hard because we almost never do this. And this is a big part of the ankle strategy. So if you remember, there's 3 strategies to deal with falls. One is the ankle strategy, so it's how quickly your ankles can adapt. Next is the hip, and the third is the stepping strategy. So this is a really important one to start with, the ankles. Okay, so 15 repetitions up and down, 2 or 3 sets. Take little breaks if you need.
You can even add, they don't talk about this, but like internal and external rotation of your ankles, the inversion, eversion there. So if you switch it up for a second, good to get that other range of motion. Each plane is important.
That's right. All right, nice. So now we're moving on to stabilization exercises. This is for trunk and postural control. This is more hip strategy. So supported front and back weight shifting. So just from the chair, and this can be done if you have a chair that doesn't have arms, arm rests on it. This may be a little easier because then you can sit sideways on it. So
the first one's forward and backwards.
Yeah, and if you actually turn it sideways, so you're able to go further back. Now, if you're doing this at home and okay, make sure you don't go all the way back,
it's like or a chair in front of your couch.
Do it in front of the couch. Exactly. So then you can go all the way back, and it's nice because the chair is a little firmer and a little higher. Sometimes the couch is really squishy, and so you kind of get sucked into it. So basically, you're just doing kind of seesaw front to back. and really play with those edges. You can feel at the last point for this back, your core is going to be working a bit. So you try to hold 3 to 5 seconds on each side, and then hold 3 to 5 seconds. Do about 10 reps. Okay? Add the hands to make it a little more challenging.
If you can get to the point where it's shaking a little bit, that's a good one for this.
Another way to make it harder is to raise your hands higher. You can feel the abs burning a little. Again, it looks easy, but little variation can make it pretty tough. Even just putting your arms across the chest, just raising the weight, the center of your weight, will make it more challenging for these back and core muscles to stabilize you. Nice. Yeah, see that work? See that shake and bake? Alright, so nice. That's the front to back. Now, same thing, side to side. So, just like it sounds, right, left to right.
You can hold on to the bottom of the chairs here if you need.
If you can, keep your sit bones touching down. So try not to lift the sit bone, which is the bone at the base of your pelvis, which if you touch kind of at the base, you can feel these knobby bones. They're called
ischium.
The technical term, yeah, your ischium. Ischial tuberosities, I think. Little bumps. Also called sit bones or sits bones. So keep them both touching so that you're not just tilting your hips, but you want your trunk and core to do the work.
Oh, this is a good way to make this a lot more challenging.
Yep.
Really start to feel the sides of your body working with those arms out. So again, yeah, play with it. Again, holding it for a few seconds.
Yep.
All right. So if we're using those spinal muscles, to keep us in balance, that's also stimulating the bone again. So same way as their legs or arms, your spine can respond to prolonged pressure.
Make it a little harder.
Well. The coordination side. Wow.
Add a little weight. This can help prevent wave-related injuries. So if you're at the football game, you know how many people get hurt doing the wave?
Almost none.
Probably not that many. So don't be that statistic, okay? Good. Alright, that one's pretty fun. So side to side weight shifting. Now the next one is a twist, segmental neck and trunk rotation. So for this one you want to sit, and this one actually you may want to do it with the armrest because that gives you a little bit more, it gives you just a little bit more to hang on to. So you'll just sit comfortably and you'll start with your head. So your neck will turn to one side and then you'll just slowly follow it, kind of a trickle down twist. And you're spiraling little by little, and then the hands can even move across and hold the edge of the chair or even reach that arm all the way around. Now, you never want to crank your back, okay? You're not holding on in order to force your spine further. That's absolutely not recommended, especially if you have any osteoporosis or anything. You're just holding on there to just keep where you are. So if you found a comfortable range, now you can just hold on to it and just stay and breathe and get more comfortable, get more resilient there. You're never cranking your back forcefully with your arms. That's an absolute no-no. So little by little, you just hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Breathing is really key here. So slow down, take a breath or two. This can be really good for the internal organs, the spine, all those muscles up and down your back. Really getting that flexibility, getting that resilience into your spine. So about 10 times each direction, at least one full breath, maybe even 3 to 5 breaths if you want to take your time with this.
Yeah, I've been sort of on a 2-breath count here, which seems nice.
And this is really important because a lot of times people lose their balance when they're turning and looking. And so because people don't realize how fast they get stiff, and so something happens and they have to turn and look, but their body is so stiff that it throws their whole balance off trying to turn and look, right? But if you have the flexibility, you can turn much more smoothly and easily without losing your balance. So that's a big part of this.
And really thinking of lifting up while you twist. So you inhale as you turn and you come up.
Yes. All right. So this next one is for your senses, multisensory training to optimize use and function of sensory systems. So side to side head motion with eyes open. So pretty simple, you just turn your head from side to side. And your eyes are moving as well. And you're getting used to taking in visual information without getting disoriented. Okay.
And use your peripherals. See if you can look all the way behind you on each side. There should be a 360-degree visual rotation. Alright, so if your head's mostly sideways, you should be able to see all the way to the edge and all the way behind you.
Yeah, so maybe sit so that there's something directly behind you and see if you can see it on both sides. A lot of people actually can't. Their neck gets stiff and they actually lose that range, 30-40% of their 360 degrees might be gone. So if you work on this, you want to get that back. Another way to make this more challenging is to do it a little bit faster, not super fast, but again, just working with your sensory system so you don't get dizzy or disoriented. Another challenge, if you want, just do it standing, and that makes it a little bit harder. Okay?
Thanks.
Alright, so just about 10 times, that's all. Now, up and down, eyes open. So just moving your head up and down. And your eyes are looking as far as you can to. And this exercise will improve your ability to control your eye movements as you move your head up and down, reducing episodes of dizziness or loss of balance when you look or move your head up and down. So if you're hiking, if you're sightseeing, if you're going to, a big city. I remember the first time I went to New York and I was like, oh my God, those buildings are so tall. It can blow your mind if you've never been to one of these places, and all of a sudden you have to take in all this new information. It can be very disorienting. Alright, so just about 10 times, and this is a good neck exercise too. Make sure you don't have pain, but good for the neck. Now the next one is same as before, side to side head motion, but now your eyes are closed. Okay? So you just kind of imagine that you're seeing what you saw before, but your eyes are closed. Sometimes when your eyes are closed, you have an ability to feel the body more in particular, to be able to feel it more specifically. So you might notice neck tension you didn't notice with your eyes open. You might notice that you're holding tension in the shoulders that you hadn't realized. So the eyes closed, you now reallocate all that brain power that you were using for visual processing into your sensory systems in your body, proprioception. So see what else you pick up with your eyes closed. Okay, so part of this is even just sitting straight and tall for this long can actually be tiring on your back. So keep your posture real tall here. Alright, now same thing, up and down with your eyes closed. If you want to make this more challenging, do it standing, but make sure you're standing in front of a couch or a chair, just in case you lose your balance. I find even just standing against the couch with my calves touching lightly gives me just enough of a kind of a point of reference that I feel comfortable. Down and up. Even if your eyes are closed, your eyes are still moving also.
Nice, and open your eyes here. We've done this in a few other videos, but if you want a little eye massage, you can kind of warm up your hands and release your fingers and just put your palms on top of your eyes there.
Yeah, just getting some warmth into your eyeballs, getting that relief can feel really refreshing. So this is our last exercise for the day. This is a star step training. It's kind of a common physical therapy exercise We're going to start with this sitting, and in later videos, we'll have you do it standing and other challenging versions. So get yourself some tape, or if you want, just like put little markers like pennies or something. And basically you're going to just make a big straight line in front of you.
Video here. So this is what you're creating on the ground. That person's actually in a chair sitting, and there's just 5 little points where they're gonna toe touch, toe to the end of, as far along the tape as you can make it. So we've got some tape here, like we're saying, you could just put like a little marker, even like a pen or a penny, something sitting around, 5 of them. So you have a point of reference, because we're gonna try to go to that point and back at a tempoed pace. And as you get better at it, we're going to speed up the tempo and then give you something to challenge with. So if you have a metronome at home, something's just tick, 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 tick. You can go, online and find these. On your phone, you can just Google metronome, and there should be an available one to download or use for free online. But we'll put one in the video. If that's distracting, you can mute it and go at your own pace. But we'll have one that we'll try to guide you through, and then we'll go up to 3 different levels.
Yeah, so it's literally just Google metronome and it comes right up. So I've got tape here, Mikey's got pennies. So basically there's 5 points. So one is directly in front of you, one is on either side, and then the other 2 are kind of in the middle, like 45 degrees. And what you're going to do, we'll start with a metronome. They recommend 30 to 60 beats per minute. And so that's going to be like 1, 2, 3. So the touching back in the middle is kind of like your half beat, okay? So we're going to start with 30. Actually, we'll start with 40, and then we'll work our way up. Google only goes down to 40.
Okay.
So,
all right, 40.
You can find an app or, a real metronome if you want to go slower, but I think you'll be okay with this. So you should be able to hear this here. There it is. So that's pretty slow. So this is 40. So start with your right foot, and you just go up, side. Just keep going back and forth and cross the whole way. And it gets a little harder when you're crossing, right?
Yeah, so really try to sit up in the front of your chair.
Yeah, really perch. Yeah. Good for reflexes too, right? Because if you watch some of our older videos, we have a reflex test where it's how quickly you can move back and forth over a plate. If you're doing it with somebody, try not to step on their toes.
And it gets tiring. Like my hips tired already, so if you need to switch legs, we can do that.
Yeah. All right, let's crank it up to 50.
Do you want to do different, like the other leg first?
Yeah, switch legs. Yeah. So
just go other leg first, and then we'll just speed up the.
So this is 50. You'll be able to hear this. And feel free, if you want to do your own metronome, just do your own speed here.
And so I'm using my legs a lot, or my arms on my legs, or the armchairs even, to sort of support myself. But if you can get your hands off your waist, you're really going to engage that core, all right, because you're sitting up and you're doing these little quick sort of micro twists, right? And that'll really help with that, all right? Let's try to keep that good posture though.
Woo! Can feel it.
It's definitely a workout.
I thought this would be easier than it was sitting, but this is still tough. You're going to feel those hip muscles working. So switch legs anytime you need. Yeah, stand up, shake it out. All right, you want to crank it to 60?
Yeah. So.
All right, let's get up to 60. Okay, ready, set, go. So really you got to perch way up on your sit bones on the edge of your chair. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough range. And try to do one leg until it's about 85% tired, and then switch legs. And you're also looking to go further, okay? So as you get stronger, your leg can go further out toward the edge, right? So at the beginning, you might make short little steps and stay on beat. As you get stronger, you'll go further.
All right, let's switch legs here. I feel like the right leg's getting a little longer workout.
Yeah, switch legs. So So later we're gonna do this standing, and you're gonna have not just in front of you, but behind you, okay? It's gonna get harder. So make sure you do this enough that you get strong and that you feel comfortable with it. Woo!
Yeah.
Feel it.
To go for a walk after this.
Yeah, do. We'll show you a few cool down stretches, I think, after this too. All right, that's nicely done.
Ooh, yeah, good job.
So a couple cool down stretches. You could actually just go back to the beginning of the video. Those warm-ups we did will be perfect. The cobbler stretch, right? Put your feet together, stretching your hips out, putting your legs up on a chair. Hip flexor stretch, laying down on the bed or the couch. Go ahead and return to some of those. Those will feel nice. Just a standing lunge is a real easy one to do after that star stretch. Nice. So this is the first part. There's 6 parts to this book. Where'd it go? The Book of Balance. And we do recommend pick it up because we're showing you, the exercise that are in here, but it's really helpful to have the book with you as you go and to read all the great information that he had at the beginning of the book. He also has resources you can download from his website, so we highly recommend it, and we'll have a link if you want to pick this up down in our description. So, nice work today.
Yeah, I got to work out, so hopefully that was fun. And again, we've got a live course coming up April 8th, if this is in real time. If not, go to our website, balanceforlife.com. Check out our new promotions, schedules, what we're going to be doing, because we really want to make this habit building, all right, a little bit every day. So tune in.
Yeah. All right, so thanks so much for watching. My name's Nate.
I'm Mikey.
And until next time,
Stay balanced, my friends.